Good day, welcome to Schoolride. We'll do a demonstration for you how the app works, and for that purpose we got three phones. The one is the parent's phone, this is the driver's phone, and this is the scholar of this particular parent. When you register on the app, you register with your email address and you pick a password and you simply fill in your details, your name, your address, your cell phone number, and you complete details of your scholar, which the name, a profile pic, the cell phone number, and on the drop-down menu you can select which school your scholar attends to. The app will then send an email to you with a password for your scholar. Your scholar will log in on his own phone with the app using his cell phone number and the provided password, after which the scholar can then change the password to something they prefer. Additionally, if the parent wants to become a driver, like for this phone in the middle, then you need to scan in proof that you have a scholar still attending school. So when you click on the main menu, you'll see an option that says register as a driver. You need to fill in your banking details so we can pay you for the trips. You fill in details of your particular vehicle, a profile pic, the make and model of your vehicle, and then with your scholar, as proof that you still got a scholar at school, you additionally will have to scan in a statement of your school from that scholar. For teachers who want to become drivers, they will have to scan in the SACT certificate. After the parent has registered on the app, the parent can go to the main menu and under approved locations, they can add additional addresses. The app will automatically take your home address and the school that you selected as approved locations, but you can add additional locations that's approved where your scholar can be dropped off. So now the app allows you to make booking trips for your scholar, and if you choose so that your scholar can do his own trips, under your profile for your scholar, there's a little button that says authorize scholar to book trips. There you can put it on or off, which will activate or deactivate your scholar's app. So in this case it's on, so your scholar can do a trip on their own. So for instance, now what we'll do on this demonstration is to show when a scholar do a trip that's to an unauthorized location. So the scholar will click on new to make a new booking and ask for you to drop off address. So for this instance, the scholar wants to go to Menlyn. Now Menlyn is not on the parent's approved list, so the app will go search for Menlyn, and when it finds the address, the scholar will click it on there, and next thing it asks you, where must I pick you up? So for instance, the scholar wants to go after school, so pick me up at the school, and then it asks you for what time. Now you can make bookings for a week up to 5 days up front, and you can select the time. Then the app will ask for which driver you want to make the trip with. A list of drivers will come up on the screen. That's drivers for that particular school of your scholar. Preferably select all of them. It automatically will be selected all of them. And you can just click on next. This is just a confirmation screen. Now the parent gets a notification and the child gets a message that says that you have used an unauthorized location. Your parent needs to approve it first. So on the parent's app, the parent will get a notification under upcoming trips, under requested. It says it's an unverified trip. So now the parent can either cancel the trip and say, no, you can't go there, or the parent can verify it. If the parent verifies it, it's a once-off verification. If the parent wants to add that address as a permanent location, then you go to that list where I showed earlier where you can add it as a permanent address. So in this instance, the parent approves the trip. So now only the right request will go through to the driver. And it will ask the scholar now to do payment. The person who made the booking will do the payment. So in this instance now, the scholar will have to also download the SnapScan app. So when you do payments, the payments go through the PCI compliant SnapScan. And on the requested trip, if you click on there, it will ask for payment as soon as the driver accepts the trip. So now the driver has not accepted the trip yet. The driver can decide whether they ignore the trip, they can't do the trip, or they accept the trip. So in this instance, the driver accepts it. The payment request only comes through now. So now the scholar can do the payment as I described earlier through the SnapScan app. And the payment will go through with your PIN. It will show on the driver's phone payment pending and as well as on the parents. But as soon as the payment goes through, it notifies the driver immediately that payment was successful. So now the driver starts the trip. If the driver leaves home, it clicks on Start Trip. This will notify the parent and the scholar. The driver is on the way. And the parents is the same, driver is on the way. Now, when the driver gets to the scholar, there are two ways to scan in the scholar's QR code. The QR code is there as proof that is the correct scholar that you're picking up. There are two ways of doing that. The driver can ask the scholar for the QR code, which will be on this button there where the scholar clicks, and the driver clicks on this green button on this one there to scan in the QR code. Alternatively, if the scholar does not have the QR code with him, then alternatively the driver can click on the profile of the scholar and click on Pick Up Scholar. On Pick Up Scholar, you'll have to add in the scholar's cell phone number. And that adds in as a confirmation that is the correct child that's been picked up. For this instance, I'll use the scanner. So the scholar will click on the QR code there. And additionally, I just want to remind you that the scholar gets all the detail of the driver, the name, the cell phone number, a picture of the driver, as well as a picture of the driver's vehicle. So we go ahead with the pickup. The driver clicks on the green button. The scholar clicks on his QR code, and the driver scans the QR code in. This notifies the parent that the scholar has been picked up. So in this instance now, if you go to the trip for the parent and the scholar, it shows little vehicle there, so the parent knows the scholar is in transit. When the scholar is dropped off, the driver will click on the End Trip, and this End Trip will then notify the parent that the scholar has been dropped off. And a little green tick mark will appear so the parent knows the trip has been completed.